Hello everybody, Savat here, aka Doompiggy, and I'm back with the day 2 of the Oracle. So I did finish up training some more skills, which that's definitely not going to. And now my laser skills, I do have large laser training into 4, so I do have all 3 there and 3 there. As soon as both of these get to 4-4, I will be going into the advanced lasers and moving those to 4-4. With this particular ship as well, the most important part, is it engineering? It is going to be this Battle Cruiser Engineering 5. Now this thing here is going to take me, I think I've already trained 2 days on it, so I think I have 14 days left. Don't quote me on that entirely. It's 14 or 15. But once you get that, it's going to take the capacitors down, and I'll actually show you that now. We'll go into a little bit more detail. So the Oracle itself, it can fit large lasers, and it has a 95% large laser power grid need and a minus 50% large laser capacitor need out of the box. Now, what it also gets is 5% damage based off of your Advanced Battlecruiser Engineering. Advanced Battlecruiser Engineering is already fantastic because it's giving you more power grid and more recharge. Now it's also going to give you a total of 25% more damage and an additional 50% from the large laser capacitor need. This, I'm only missing 10%. I have this at 4. And that 10% is a huge difference. This ship is nowhere near cap stable, no matter what you put on it. Just firing the lasers alone in combat, I'm getting down to 45-50% very quickly on my actual capacitor. And it doesn't recharge at a good pace as of yet. These skills here I don't particularly care about. The inertia modifier and the scan resolution. The scan resolution is actually, in my opinion, better than the inertia modifier. This thing is already slow. It's big, it's slow, it doesn't really move. However, I am going to put this to use in most builds by actually using a micro warp drive instead of an afterburner. And the micro warp drive is used in most builds, in my opinion, because you want to be able to keep good distance on this. If you can dictate that range, then you're in there like swimwear, and you can sit at such a long range out. Again, with my skills, it's not perfect with the large beam lasers, that you could do some crazy stuff. Now, the biggest thing with these lasers that I was saying last time is they have no tracking. But before we get into that, let's go over the rest of the ship since we're here. So its overall defense is 27,813 with a piss poor flight velocity of 185. Warp speed is 2.7. You ain't getting anywhere anytime soon. Power grid output 1024. This is what we really need to work on, and the capacitors 3913 gigajoules. So your power grid output at 1024 is actually lower than the Harbinger prototype. I haven't checked out the Harbinger yet. I will be getting a hold of a Harbinger, and I will be doing videos on that as well. Unfortunately, I got to get some more money. It doesn't come very quickly. Now, the big thing about this ship, you got one drone. I call it the hood ornament, and it's a hood ornament because if you're fitting large lasers, it's never going to be in range. It just circles around you and gives you high fives whenever you kill something. And then you have 6 large lasers that you can put up here. You have your 3 mids, 5 lows, and 3 of each one of the rig slots. It's, pretty standard for most of your battleships. Now, this particular build is not a build I would say to use. I am trying different types of stuff out of it. One of the things that I noticed is the actual power grid with the large lasers fit in. I had a lot of room left. So I actually threw a large shield booster on here. If you've watched any of my Harbinger videos, you know, even though these are not shield tanks, if you're not really taking much damage, why not have the shield booster just to help top yourself off? You don't really need to have the armor reppers in those particular cases. That being said, I'm not trying to take this into anything that I might lose it with yet, because I don't have all the skills. Obviously, I don't have any shield resistances in here, so it has absolutely nothing. And I still haven't changed out the webifiers for bigger stuff yet. I got to invest the money into it, but I have to see if I like it. One of the reasons why I do use 2 webifiers on here is because if a ship is speeding around me, I'm never going to hit it. I have the small C-type pulse lasers on this thing. And these small C-type pulse lasers, with 2 tracking computers, mind you, have a tracking speed of 7.18. That's not catching anything. Nothing. Ain't gonna do it if it gets under your guns. I have to figure out with this ship where under my guns is without losing it. So I need to figure out what type of ranges I need to stay in, so it's requiring a lot of practice. I just threw, again, I have a Mark V drone in here because it's literally just a hood ornament. Even at these particular ranges, if we look at the offense, these pulse lasers are at 32. They go up to about 39 if you put those together with the fall off, and that'll be at 50% damage. Well, this thing is doing 734 DPS, and I barely have any skills in it already. So if you do get the proper skills in this, probably a ton of damage. Now, I haven't gone and shown you everything that I've done to this ship. There is some crap gear in there. My tracking computers are also pretty crap. I haven't looked at upgrading those. It's just using basic stuff you can pretty much buy except for the lasers. And even those lasers, I got them pretty dirt cheap. The basic heatsink in here is applying a little bit more damage. I do have a large shield booster. If you see, I got the large shield booster and I still have a chunk of power grid left. This thing still has over 100 power grid. I do have a C-type medium micro warp drive in here, and for my rigs I've actually splurged a little bit and I put 2. I have a laser collision accelerator 3 that's giving me 17.5% DPS, or damage, I apologize, and an activation time adjustment of 12.5% for the large laser burst aerator. I still haven't decided what to put in here. If I do put, which I most likely will, the capacitor control circuits are the ones that actually expand. Don't remember, not the power grid ones. The ones that actually give you maximum, they're going to give you recharge as well. I'd have to go see, I have them on my other ship, but they're extremely expensive. So again, I just bought this ship, I've bought some fittings for it, I bought these rigs because I actually got them at a pretty good deal. I think one was 60 million and one was 44 million, so they're not bad. But this third slot here I'm also kind of keeping open because I don't know what type of build I'm going to actually end up in this ship with, and obviously I don't want to spend all the money on something that I'm just going to pop in and not use when I don't have all of the money right now. Hi guys, sorry about that. I actually had to come back to the mic. My delivery had arrived, so I had to get that picked up. So for you it's been no time. For me it's probably been about 10 minutes. So I got that picked up and ready to go. So yeah, like I was saying with this particular ship is it does have tons of power issues, and these low rigs, the 3 engineering rigs, I'm probably going to end up putting on something to affect the capacitor on this particular ship, because it's going to need it in some fashion or another. Now this slot here, I would really like to do something defensive with it just to give me that extra push, but it might actually need the capacitor reduction for the fire time, or the large lasers. Needless to say, that's pretty much where I am right now, and again, all of these fittings are here. One of the things I wanted to kind of show you, I will go ahead and take it out real quick. Let's go ahead and jump over to a battle. I am only doing a medium mission here. I do want to do and show off a hard mission, but I am going to do that in the Harbinger. I actually go in with the Harbinger, and man, there are some sections in there where it can actually get pretty scary in just the first tier missions. So I am quite excited for that. Ah, I love the way this ship looks. No! Let's go! I get impatient. This thing never wants to jump because it's slow. Look at this.
Warp drive active.
But man, this ship's cool. So one of the things that people have a lot of questions about when I talk to them about this Oracle is the large lasers. How do they apply their damage? I mean, yeah, this ship here does say it has 734.83 DPS. And again, I do not count the hood ornament. The hood ornament is not doing anything for me in most cases. But how is it applied? These are large lasers. Most of the targets that we're fighting against are going to be medium or small targets. So the damage shouldn't get applied fully. Well, it doesn't. That's one of the reasons why I went with the target painter route. The Webbers, again, I already explained that. They're to hopefully stop the ships, but I don't think they're even going to stop a ship with a micro warp drive. So I actually got an idea from a streamer, Eternal Echoes, and I will put his information in there regarding this, and warp scrams help out with that. Unfortunately, you don't know ahead of time if you're actually going to run into any of those guys. Your best bet is to assume you are and have it in there. If they don't have any type of micro warp drives, though, the 2 webifiers is definitely a better way to go. I don't know if this ship is going to be able to get rid of the target painter, though. The target painter is actually phenomenal, and I'm probably going to invest in the 12 million into the big one, which is next to nothing. And it's only going to be a little bit more, but it may help out tremendously in helping these large lasers apply their damage correctly. One of the questions I was asked as well was, would you get a Harbinger or the Oracle? It's still too early for me to say. What I can say is, with my current medium laser skills, the Harbinger would have been a better buy, because I would have been able to get into that ship right away and use it to its full capabilities, which if I fit it out just like my Harbinger is now, it would have a pretty heavy tank, and it would probably be doing around 600 DPS because of my skills, and that's without any damage rigs or anything like that. So, and I'll show you the guys, the Harbinger real quick whenever we do get back from this particular mission, which you can check out my other video and see that, so I don't think I really need to do that. That's just going to waste some time. I'm going to try to keep these videos a little bit shorter. I know the runtime can get quite long, so long videos are annoying sometimes. But here we are. Let's go ahead and find our mission. And I want to come in at around... Wait, that's not good. Did it already warp? Where are you going? Okay. Well, this is something you probably definitely don't want to do. This ship, again, it needs to have its range. If things get under the guns, that's bad. If this thing warped to 0, because I guess it decided to, we could be in for a real treat here. Again, this is why you have the micro warp drive. So the very first thing I'm going to do, yeah, it does look like we did warp to 0, is we are going to activate this bad boy, and we are going to orbit at 33. We're going to lock everybody up, and we're going to start taking some damage. Okay, so first volley there did 3,000. Oh, let's hit this. 3,100. Now this is a MOA. A MOA is a bigger of these targets. Alright, we're out. We're going to go with this one next. And this is smaller. This is only a destroyer. 2,396. So it is applying the DPS, but I do think that with this level of DPS, it would be higher with the medium lasers. 4,748. That was a pretty good shot. Let's turn the target painter off. Now this second hit here, it's hitting armor. So that first hit was shields. Lasers apply full damage pretty much to shields. So we're going to see another hit that was 4,000 something. You can go back and look at the video. Now this is without the target painter. That guy is way out of range. So let's get in range real quick. Again, with the micro warp drive, it allows us to dictate that range. Now, if you look at the power grid on this, we're at 73% right now. If I was to run an armor wrapper or the shield booster or anything, that's going to go away real quick. Alright, so we want to do this without... What is my optimal range? Don't have that memorized yet. 32.76. Alright, we're there. Let's fire. Huh. 1,000? 2,000. Okay. So there might have been a difference there with a wrecking hit or not. Not 100% sure. But that was a pretty big damage drop. Alright, so let's lock these guys up. We're going to orbit this at 33. We're going to hit this. I want to get away from these guys. Alright, we're going to target painter and focus fire. He's at 16. He is gone. Don't even know the damage that did. Gone again. Alright, so let's orbit you. We can turn off the micro. 4103. Oh, we actually did get our drone on there. Oh, hood ornament's gone. Alright, so this is a tier 6 mission. This is not one of the hard missions, the tier 8s. The tier 8s are really brutal, and I would not bring this one into a tier 8 as of yet. We're going to set orbit. I am going to stop that. Hood ornament, you can go away. And let's get in close. I think I have my auto orbit set on this guy, but just in case, we're going to set this to 31 is fine. And we're going to orbit. Come on, turn around. Alright, so what can these lasers hit up to? 32, 38, 39, and if we activate this, it's a good hit. We're sitting at 48, 58 for half damage, 59. So even with the pulse lasers, this one can still get some decent range. So for doing just regular story missions, and if you're not going to go to the absolute hard ones, the tier 8s, and you're going to stay with the tier 6s, this thing can stay out of range. It can damage. It can do everything just fine. We left the micro warp drive on. We're down to 45. So I may have slightly exaggerated the power grid problems. It does seem to be holding even with the micro warp drive on here, but as you can see, I mean, I haven't been running a shield booster. I have not been running any type of hardeners or anything like that, and it's not in a good spot. If I get into a tight situation where things are actually hitting me back, which on the tougher missions they would be, I would be in some serious trouble. Let's orbit. Can you not waste my cap, please? Who do I not like? What, can you not waste my cap, please? You're the closest. You die first. And we missed. So, this guy is getting under my guns heavily. Already at 12. So if we can get double webs on him. Missed with double webs. 392. 1,500. So yeah, even 10-12 km, and that ship does not have an afterburner or anything. So the double webs are even risky when they get close up. So the big thing with this particular ship, with these large lasers, you definitely don't want anything to really get close to you. You just can't hit it. This ship, from what I'm seeing, is probably going to be much better in a group. If you've got somebody who can go in there and actually tank, I can see it doing a tremendous amount of damage. So if you have something like, I don't know, a Mauler going in with a pretty thick boy tank going on, and then you sit back and start taking stuff out at a little bit of distance behind him, you might have a good little combination going on. This ship may be great for some type of duo, especially if you have, well, and these mid slots here, as long as they're taking care of the frigates or everything like that, if you have some group armor repairers, stay relatively close, make sure that they're doing armor tank and you're doing armor tank, then yeah, you can help boost up their shields, sit back, have a good old time. For the purposes of doing missions, well, you're seeing that right now. It's not doing anything that a prophecy or a harbinger cannot do. I have prophecy on the mind. That's another ship that I want to look at. It's a little bit more. But yeah, my harbinger would be able to come in here and do this, no problem, as well. And I didn't have to train into any more skills. It could probably even do it better if I had the same tier 3 rigs on there. I think it would apply this damage a whole lot better. Now, I'm sitting out at 41. Still having a little bit of issues hitting this guy. Let's turn on the micro warp drive and get a little closer. Alright, let's turn that off. let's go ahead and activate the basic heatsink. We're at 925 DPS. And again, it's crazy. There's hardly any skills in this particular ship yet. It still needs a ton of skills. So the damage output is actually going to be nuts. Alright, so that's about how quick it does one of those particular missions. I just try to take my lasers off. I mean, it's not bad. I could go pick up the loot, but I'm not going to make you guys sit there through that. I don't particularly care too terribly much. We're going to go ahead and jump back. Oh, but as you can see, the ship's not bad. But I worry on the harder missions, because if I do get any condors in this particular area, I'm saying condors, but if we get any of the interceptors or anything like that on me, you already saw a destroyer can get under your guns. And I'm pretty sure anything that's going to have some type of micro warp drive that you can't turn off, and if they get in there and they warp scram you, you just got a medium drone. If they're an elite and they do that, you're literally stuck there. If you ain't got no friend to call in, you're probably going to go bye-bye. Frigate will destroy you. You're never going to be able to hit it. So that warp scram may be good for that, but as you saw, even with the double webifiers on that guy, it wasn't good enough. So I get really concerned about actually bringing this ship into any type of battle where multiple frigates, especially multiple ones with micro warp drives and warp disruptors, can get under my guns. It doesn't have a strong enough tank right now that would be able to sustain them forever, and even if it did have a tank to sustain them forever, I don't really have anyone that I can call in to save my bacon right now. That may change in the future, but right now, no, I would just end up sitting there until I lost the ship. And that's why I'm a little bit scared to take this one out into some of the harder missions. And again, I'm definitely not going to be shield tanking with this. The amount of power grid I had, I wanted to fit it on there and play around with it a little bit. And as you saw, I did that entire mission. I don't even think I had to turn this thing on. And that's using the close range weaponry. The beam lasers themselves, they do reach out and touch people. And you can sit way further back. I don't have the C-types for those as of yet, but with the power grid in this thing, I don't think it's going to have a problem fitting them. I don't think your actual large lasers are going to be the problem. I do think it's going to be the cap with the other stuff. This thing here only lasts for 47 seconds if I try to run everything. Now, mind you, I do have a micro warp drive on there, and that does eat quite a bit. But, oh well. So that's where I'm currently at, guys. Just wanted to kind of give you guys an update and show you that. Stick around. I will have more updates with how the Oracle is doing. And thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.